Viewers, welcome back for another video uh, from my own perspective of Apple. So, how they are operating HRM practices and processes through their company. So, I've decided to cover two chapters just like I did in the previous video. And I have decided to demonstrate how the performance management and recognition is applied by Apple. So, indeed, many subjects covered in class is in the Apple processes, even though there can be some differences, but the main ideas of Apple are theory that we've covered in class. So first of all, I'm going to start with the steps in an effective. There's performance missing there. I will correct that. I'm sorry. So the first one, there's also missing something there. Um, is before goal setting is establishing the clear work that needs to be done, and I think it's related with goal setting for Apple for the Apple venture. I explain myself. I'm saying that because a big part of the work that needs to be done by Apple is to be creative, so to bring something new to the company is always encouraged, and it's kind of related because the employee will have to create a goal of creating something new. So those are related. But other than that, the main function of an Apple employee is to sell. So in that way, what I mean is that the work is clearly defined. The resetting process is the acronym APPLE, so Apple, for approach, present, listen, and end. So A is for approach customers with a personalized, warm welcome. P is for probe, politely, to understand the customer's needs. The P is for present a solution to take home today. L is for listen for and resolve any issues or concerns. And E is for end when a fun farewell and an innovation to return. So I stated uh, these steps because it is in the work to be done. So I think it is clearly set by the Apple company. So that step is very good in my opinion. So I also found um, irregular coaching. So that means that the coaching is not really from employers, but rather from um, employees that they are interacting with each other since they are always working with each other. So someone may be more experimented than another, than maybe a freshman maybe. So give him he can give him like some advices. And then a last step would be the recognition of performance, which I will develop a little bit later in that video. So, what are the expectations for the performance? Mostly using a results review method, like most of the ventures, because they want to see not bias, because it can be uh, because it's less bias, and they can be like real. They can see real results. So that's what a company wants. They want a performance, but they are Apple employees are mostly evaluated on teamwork and innovation. So teamwork, how it's evaluated is someone is a supervisor will work through the store and will see how employees interact. Innovation, an assessment is built on whether the employee is creative, so compensation will be given to creativity as well. Yeah, so that's it. And the purpose of these reviews, so that is theory that we've covered in class. The first one is for compensation. So I will repeat myself in this video that compensation is very important because it encourages employee to continue their work if uh, if if they're doing a good work. Yeah, so it's important that employee feels this at his place and feels that he's contributing to the company's success. So then the results, so they want to see if they meet expectations. So if they, for example, if they want to see if they follow the APPLE process. So yeah, so that's very more formal than compensation. And then there's the developmental, which is also very important because employees of Apple want always want employees to improve, so to be more creative and to be better with customer service, etc. So briefly, who is in charge of reviewing performance? So I found two who are both related the um, to the theory as well. I found only two because there's just two of them, but these are particularly effective. Why peer review? Because just as I said, the employees are always, often interacting with each other. They're helping each other. So a review from peers can very be a good assessment because it's very accurate since they are always working together. After there's a 360-degree review, which is from supervisors, peers, customers, subordinates. So I've seen in class different perspectives, easily identifies strength and weaknesses of an employee. So once again, this is very accurate. And yeah, so the the same information can be brought from different people. So so in that way, it identifies right away the weaknesses that can be quickly improved. So those two are very effective in my opinion. After recognizing work, just as I said, is very 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 important as an HRM process for an employee for its development because it encourages employee to continue their work and they know that they are valuable. And yeah, basically it's good for the health, I would say, for the an employee. Yeah, so I forget to present you the peer. Um, so what is particular with Apple is last year in 2018, in Thanksgiving time, in order to give their employees a full week off, they added the 25th, 26th, and 27th of November to the Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, so I think it's great. They can have, of course, it's paid. They can have a good rest from that, a 7 days rest. Yeah, I think it's very good, and it's not from the theory of governing class. It's very particular and it's very interesting, I think. So yeah, here it is. And then there's many deductions. So of course, it's the choice of Apple to offer deductions, which is not, mandatory. So it's voluntary benefits, but yeah, it's not. I think it's not in the theory covered in class. I've looked in the book and I haven't found deductions. I'm surprised that it's not in the theory because it's not common, but big enterprises will often use that to recognize the work of the employees. So, like Glassdoor, just there according to Glassdoor, Apple employees get an annual 25% discount when they purchase um, an iPod, a computer, or iPad. So that I think is great and it encourages the employee to continue their great work, and in that way they can retain more employees after. So that is part of the theory covered in class, which is a wellness program. So last year Apple launched its own medical clinic called HSC Wellness, which is an independent medical practice dedicated to delivering and is mainly for healthcare. So I think it's uh, an an interesting approach because, for example, someone working for Apple, uh, even if they have great conditions, sometimes they couldn't afford to go to the hospital. So healthcare could bring you know, the what they want, the desire of the employee, in if they don't have, if they can afford to go to their hospital. So that was it. Thank you for listening to me, and see you in class.